Hey, howdy everyone. Welcome back to the day late, dollar short edition of the Saturn Slam Review. We are here recapping the first ever live edition of NXT, and what a show it was, filled with technical difficulties and booking decisions and surprise debuts and returns.
Everything was here. And Clash of Champions happened too, I guess.
Yeah, that was the thing. The show was painfully average. I actually don't remember anything from the show, which tells
No,
you.
that was exactly how I felt. I can't believe we came to the same conclusion on that. I would have thought I don't know, I thought it was just me, and I thought you're gonna come in and be like, Kurt's just gonna have yes, Eric Rowan defeated Roman Reigns, match of the night. But
The most notable thing about the whole night was Luke Harper came back.
Yeah,
Days after being reported that he wouldn't be back anytime soon by some of the dirt sheets. Oops. But he was not the only man to make his return. Rusev also made his return on last week's Raw as the baby daddy for Maria Kanellis' baby, and what is a strong candidate for the worst storyline of the year.
that sounds like the right blend of trashy reality TV and just bad promo choices. That does sound like the worst story of the year.
They're already teasing a Maury Povich appearance on the the show next. I don't know about next week.
Now, you said you would be the champion. The lie detector test determined that to be a lie. It's a fucking stunner.
But we were on to much better shows, which also featured a surprise return here. So the first ever episode of NXT on USA was much like most episodes of NXT, which is to say it was a very well put together show. I think they did a good job of establishing the major acts on the show, with a couple notable exceptions. Chief amongst them, Johnny Gargano, was nowhere to be found on the show, but perhaps they're saving him for when they go head-to-head with AEW, or perhaps this week. We'll find out.
We'll find out. We're trying very hard to keep true to our promise here of reviewing each week's show each week, so we don't get a backlog, and this technically counts.
This does count. We're just going to be back on Thursday, so you'll have no rest in between episodes. We'll have no rest between episodes. You can watch these
this
whenever
week
the
is
fuck
scheduled
you want.
for 2 slams.
Yes. Two.
I've never done a 2 falls match. It's
just best of 2 falls.
Yes.
A lot of draws in the best of 2 falls match.
Let's just start it off.
Yeah, so it starts off Triple H voiced over a video package, and then we were treated to his face to begin, which was probably the smartest move because he's definitely the most recognizable mainstream face associated with NXT. So he came out, he said that it's time for a new era of NXT. Stage and lighting was a little bit different, just a touch. I thought it was just the consequence of them being on television, but it was the same on the network. So,
it's a little darker, right? The house is a little darker.
The house lights are a little darker. I think they're trying to hide the fact that the crowd is small, because they don't want to leave Full Sail for what I mean. Production costs, I'm sure, are very cheap there. I think students at Full Sail make up most of the production crew.
Yeah. And it's a good move because the Full Sail crowd, for most of them, until you get to later in the tapings, I guess it's live now, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Full Sail crowd is usually really hot to start,
and today was no exception. This is, like you said, Peter. The fact that they're live now means that we're not gonna run into as much issues with burnout toward the end of these 4-hour tapings. So we can expect a steady diet of hot crowds for the foreseeable future. The only thing that might change that is if when AEW goes live, Vince watches Dynamite and is like, oh, goddamn, we need to be running stadiums in NXT. and they move to other arenas, which will still probably draw hot crowds if takeovers are any indication.
Right. Just
But anyway, we kicked
Yeah,
off after Marinallo gave his own little speech. We kicked off with the women's fatal 4-way.
he just went right into it, and it was pretty hype.
It was a solid match. I've heard some dissenting opinion about whether this or the Velveteen Dream match was the best match of hour one or / the night. There were a couple of matches I liked in hour two, but I would have to agree that the best matches were on hour one, which makes sense because that's the larger audience. And speaking of the audience, NXT did a very impressive number of 1.79 million viewers. So almost 1.17, not 1.7. That would be incredible. 1.179 million viewers, which is higher than Suits did in the same time slot or the similar time slot, and it was the number 4 show on cable television, trailing some just winners like Basketball Housewives or something like that. Yeah.
I'm glad that's where cable's at now.
Yeah. That was the only, I didn't recognize any of the other shows except NXT. And it was number 20 overall for the night, which I don't know what they were expecting, but I think everyone has to be happy with that. I don't know that people in WWE were expecting over 1 million viewers, and because, that means some people who don't have the network watch, because I think the network only has like 1.1 million subscribers.
Yeah. The network certainly wasn't prepared for it. We'll get to that.
Yeah, when we switch times here. But anyway, USA's got to be happy because it did better what they had before. This match was a like PWG style. Everyone go in, get your shit in. We got less than 10 minutes, make it work. And they made it work. Everyone hit big moves. Everyone looked good. Bianca Belair, I thought especially, came across really well in this match. Io Shirai also looked very smooth in this match. And Candice LeRae, somewhat surprisingly, actually, once she was added to the match, I kind of figured that she'd be the one winning.
Yeah.
Notches the victory, pinning Mia Yim.
Yes, which understandable. I think if there was a weak link in this match, I think it's still Mia Yim.
Yeah.
What did she do? What did she do right at the end? She almost missed an interference.
Yes, she was almost late. It looked like she was kind of late breaking up a pin attempt because the referee. I don't know if the referee was out of position and took extra time, but it looked like they were kind of stalling so she could get to where she needed to be to, and she almost was late on that, even with circumstances being what they were. And she ate a pin for her penance, and so soon, I'm not sure when. My guess would be that first head-to-head show on USA. Candice LeRae will be wrestling Shayna Baszler for the women's title. And an interesting question becomes, do you change the title and have Io Shirai beat Candice for the title, or do you have Io Shirai cost Candice the title and continue Shayna Baszler? There are other opponents for Shayna Baszler. Rhea Ripley still has unfinished business with Shayna Baszler. Dakota Kai still has unfinished business with Shayna Baszler. I don't know that I necessarily buy Dakota Kai right now as a championship contender, but I think you could build to that, certainly. And Bianca Belair can get her. You can pay off that with her finally winning the big one.
It's an interesting idea because I was very much of the opinion when we going into this show, like, she's just held it for so long, it should trade off here, but this kind of follows in the traditions of women's champions in NXT being like, really undefeatable, and they just hold on to it forever. So this might just follow in that wake. And yeah, like you said, there's still a lot of matches to be mined out of this, even in the championship run.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I personally would change the title. I think Shayna's had it for long enough. I think Candice is a good underdog babyface in the same sort of vein as Kairi Sane. I think it'd get a positive reaction if she won. And I mean, Shayna has. There are matches to be had, sure, but Shayna has wrestled and beaten most of the girls down in NXT. So I wouldn't be surprised if she gets moved up. I could see her being or moved over since there's no moving up now. It's a third brand. It's just moving over. But I could see her as a potential opponent for Becky Lynch after the Sasha Banks feud wraps up. I think she would be a natural opponent for Becky Lynch given the history with Ronda Rousey. And that could lead into, if Ronda's coming back for WrestleMania season, you could lead that feud right into the rekindling of the Rousey feud.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that
there
seems
are
like a good way to
options.
put it or position it, because like how these things go is like when they get onto the other rosters, they get their nice little 1 or 2 show push, and then they just sort of fade back into the mid card.
Yeah, it's fighting for scraps. Speaking of scraps, Cameron Grimes.
The hat does not help.
I don't. Yeah, it's just a hat and a vest. And he put the hat back on, but not the vest after the match, and that bothered me.
Well, we didn't get to see him first. Sean Maluda came in first.
Right. Yeah.
I was like,
Sean
oh, Sean
Maluda
Maluda. I know that.
is cruiserweight classic luminary. I think a member of the NOI Samoan dynasty.
Like when you said NOI, I just imagine all I can think of is the aspirin commercials, or like the whatever cholesterol commercials, where it's like, don't take this with NAOIs or thyroidazine.
But his relationship to famous WWE wrestlers did not help him in this match. The bell rang. He rushed Cameron Grimes, who immediately hit his double stomp finish, which I do not like.
Apparently, it has a following. They were because a lot of people. What was his previous?
He was Trevor
alias?
Lee on the Indies.
Trevor Lee, yes.
And
A lot of
I
people
also
loved.
have heard a lot of good things about Trevor Lee. I have not yet seen those things in Cameron Grimes.
Apparently, among the followers, it's called the Mushroom Stomp. And I heard a lot of sentiment. They're like, yeah, the Mushroom Stomp. But shame it wasn't the Orange Crush Bomb, which was, I guess, his other finisher.
That sounds at least a lot cooler than the stomp. Like, I'm not a big fan of double foot stomps in general, even like off the top rope, like you see a lot of people do. Finn Balor probably the most impactful. Like, I get it's a very guttural, relatable sensation, but it doesn't make a sound. Like, it doesn't make that big thump. It doesn't feel high impact because you can't actually stomp on the guy or else you really hurt him. So you have to like fall off to the side and it just like doesn't make that crunchy
I'm watching.
noise.
Let's see this other finisher that he's got. So it's like a pump handle over the back, and lands him on his back. It's an interesting other finisher here. I'll share it with you. If you just look up like Trevor Lee Orange Crush Bomb, yeah, I feel like the only guy I've ever seen who does a good stomp is Seth Rollins. He puts some extra oomph in it.
Well, that's a different move entirely. And I suppose that has the same complaint, but like when with that move, when he's stomping them into the mat, like they take the bump with their body weight, so it makes the thud on the mat, so it sounds higher impact.
Okay.
At least that's my opinion. Oh, there's one. El Generico did one. Okay, I'm going to get distracted if I look at this.
Yeah. It's a 6-second clip. That's why I sent it over.
Yeah. But I can't tab over into the Discord chat or else your face will be minimized.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's a shame. All right. Yeah. So basically, he grabs him under the grabs him in the old 5-hole, grabs him over the shoulder, lifts him over his back, and slams them on their back. It's nifty. It looks nice, but it's not like standout.
Right.
It's no Dream Valley Driver.
Yeah. Well, they have plans for Cameron Grimes apparently. So we will be seeing more of him. There's something there.
No plans for Miles.
Yeah, Jordan Miles was nowhere to be found on this show. But not everyone needs to be on every show.
Yep. We're still pretty big. Can't get hundo coverage here.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Roderick Strong fulfilled the prophecy, defeating the Velveteen Dream in what was an excellent North American Championship match. They told the good story. They worked over the back to the point where I think it's a work. They added in a press release. They said the Velveteen Dream was dealing with back injuries. They had him amongst the injured on the report. I believe that's a work. I think he's fine. But yeah, they worked it over, and they had one of the sickest near falls I've ever seen, where the Undisputed Era ran down, and they interfere once, and they get distracted referee, but Velveteen Dream fights him off, and he turns right around into the end of Heartache, and the ref counts 1, and the ref counts 2, and the ref does not count 3, because at the very last millisecond, Velveteen Dream kicks out, and the place came unhinged. I came unhinged. That was a great near fall. But eventually, he'd hit a couple Dream Valley drivers. He'd go up to the top for the Purple Rainmaker, but Adam Cole would come in with the clutch super kick save, and Velveteen Dream would eat another end of Heartache and fall as North American champion. I believe he's the longest reigning North American champion. I don't know if his reign or Adam Cole's reign were longer. So he's no longer champion. The Undisputed Era is draped in gold, and
I stood up and cheered.
Yes, so did I. I wiped a tear, single solitary tear from my eye, and clapped like a proud papa.
I clapped.
Alone in my living room. But this does introduce a ready-made feud between Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship if they wish to go down that road. They're going to need challengers for Adam Cole. I know Tommaso Ciampa is possibly being looked at to return on the October 4th episode of NXT. But they're having a match this week. Another match between Killian Dane and Matt Riddle. Another street fight. And the winner will get a shot at Adam Cole on the October 2nd show. I believe Matt Riddle will be winning that match. But after that, you have... If Ciampa can't come back that soon, I think Velveteen Dream makes sense as an opponent. And if Ciampa doesn't win the title back, which I don't think he will, then you're going to need more baby faces down the line. So,
yeah,
I think Velveteen Dream's kind of worked his way into the NXT title picture. I don't want to say he's above the North American title because they do a pretty good job of presenting those titles as fairly equal in prestige. I mean, the NXT Championship obviously goes on last at the show, so it's the most important title. But
it's not like, any given champion, any given North American champion has like a fighting, like a solid equal footing with the NXT champion.
Yes. It's not like the Intercontinental title and WWE title of today, where one is just a prop and the other has some meaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a great match. It had everything you want to hear. I think one of the things that might, I don't know if it'll deter people who might be casual fans, but it would be perhaps confusing to someone who doesn't follow NXT to see this obviously heel faction cheat the win and then be cheered like conquering heroes when they win.
Yeah. uh, and that sort of, I guess that ties into one of the complaints that I heard, or one of the critiques at least that I've heard being thrown around. I guess I noticed this too once I heard it, was that um, this was a very match heavy show. This was very promo light.
Yes, there were no interviews, in fact, and there were a few video packages, but I think that is by design because you're so conditioned with the WWE product to tune in to a 20-minute long opening promo. But you didn't get that on this. I think it's match heavy by design because it's supposed to be the in-house alternative. And I think they did a good enough job through the video packages to establish the characters that were featured on the show. I think the only circumstance where I would have appreciated maybe a quick interview or maybe a pre-tape or an in-set promo during an entrance or something like that would have been for the North American title match because they showed the burning of the couch, but if you don't watch NXT week to week, you'll be like, why the fuck is this couch burning? What the fuck does that mean? Is that like a cross because they can't do a cross?
Yeah, I'll just go back to watching Rusev's baby daddy episodes.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So I think that would have been a little beneficial, but I think it's by design that they didn't include many promos this week.
Yep.
I think they wanted to get a lot of action in, and we'll see if that's a trend moving forward. I mean, eventually you're going to have some promos, but they don't.
No, you have. I feel like you have to. Like that's. I don't know what would happen if you just had match heavy shows.
I mean, you can have a match heavy show. It's not like hasn't been done before. But you don't need to have 40 minutes of talking on your 2-hour wrestling program. You can have, 8 or 10 matches on your show and have a few quick promos here and there. I think it's a refreshing change of pace.
Agree.
That was the end of the USA portion of the show. Then came the switch over to the WWE Network, and I predicted this was going to be a finicky handoff, but boy, did I ever underestimate this handoff. Apparently, this is the most people that have ever tried to log on to the WWE Network at the same time. I don't know that for sure, but it sure felt like that.
I don't know how they stress test these. Can they stress test for 1 million people?
I don't fucking know, but several people, pretty much universally, everyone I've heard from, everyone I've personally talked to, every podcast I've listened to, everyone had problems. Some people, it took them half an hour to get on. Some people, it took them like 45 minutes. Some people gave up. We were able to get on after about 5 or 10 minutes.
We were lucky for sure.
After trying every device in my house. I tried my phone, I tried my tablet, I tried my TV, I tried my other TV, I tried my desktop. I eventually got on my living room TV.
You just had to stick with it just to make sure. It's like we just gave it the old DDoS, or at least the unintentional DOS, which was, I think, looking at it, pretty fine for those who could get in maybe 5 or 10 minutes late. Because, before I start, they should have their boys on this, their boys and girls.
Yeah, Triple H said in the press call that a lot of people had this issue, but not as many as it seems. I feel like it might be a little bigger a problem than he's letting on, but there was an email sent out to certain network subscribers that apologizing for it, saying that they've corrected the issue and it won't happen again, but there's only 1 week where this could possibly happen again.
That's true. That is true.
So even if it happens again next week, I mean, it's an inconvenient thing, but you can just watch it on demand later. it's probably the better way to do it because you can skip through the commercials.
Yeah. So I said that it was you weren't losing much by not being able to make it for the first 5-10 minutes, because after it started off with a recap of the TV show for those who didn't have USA or just we're trying to get in. Fine, good padding. But the first match was also not a super. I don't know. I want to say like have to see it match. Arturo Huas, is that how he pronounced his last name? He's got a
it's Huas, because in
Huas,
Brazil R is H, I guess.
Okay. Versus Pete Dunne, which is not a matchup that I expected at all.
No, I didn't expect it either. I thought it was good, actually. I thought they did some really nice wrestling in the beginning there. And then it eventually became more of a Pete Dunne showcase, which is what you would expect from a match like this. But I thought it was good. Arturo Huas has looked better ever since being sent to the real developmental now, which is Evolve. He's done some work in Evolve. He was a big part of that Evolve 10th anniversary show. He's been involved in feuds there. He's booked as a killer on Evolve, and he's steadily been improving. I remember his first couple matches in NXT. They paired him with the other tall guy from the Brazil, whose name is completely escapes me at this point in time.
Starts with a C, right?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah,
but
his name's slipping me.
He didn't look very impressive, but he's looked a lot better the last couple times I've seen him. And this match was a showcase for Pete Dunne, who won with my least favorite finish in all of wrestling, bending the fingers.
I like it not as a finisher, but I do like that move.
I mean, it works as a spot. I get it. In terms of realism, you'd probably tap out to that, but it's not pretty.
Yeah, I do like it just as sort of like it's definitely just a different thing than it just makes him stand out, and that's why I appreciate it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Pete Dunne. I want to see when I go see a Pete Dunne match, I want to go see him do the finger stuff. Like when I go see a Ricochet match, I want to see him do fucking 5 flips and land on his feet off of a throw from a fucking ladder. It's just like it's that sort of feeling where you're coming for the watch the amazing Pete Dunne grab this man's hand.
Yeah, like I appreciate the the differentiation it provides to his moveset. And as a spot, fine. I still don't really like it as a spot because, like, if you break a dude's finger, he's not going to be good for much after the for the rest of the match. But that being aside, I've witnessed more ridiculous shit in wrestling and have come to accept it. I can come to accept this too, but I don't like it as a finish because it feels kind of anticlimactic because in a sense, it can happen out of anywhere, but also it doesn't really look like it looks like a hold you could use as a transition move.
Right.
Just
it's
as
not,
easily as a finishing hold.
And I think Pete Dunne has good, like, very fully involved submissions in his arsenal.
Yeah, he's won with triangles before. He's won with, like, elbows and a triangle trap before. The bitter end is an awesome finish. Like, I don't know why he feels the need to not use it. I mean, I could see the argument. Maybe he can't hit on bigger guys, but he's hitting on Walter. There aren't many people in NXT bigger than Walter.
Speaking of,
well, first off, we had Aliyah Lead defeat one of the Forgotten Daughters.
Oh, okay, this was later on in the match.
This match was rough. It started out okay, but it fell apart towards the end there. Aliyah has been in NXT for forever, and she has not gotten any better. She's a lovely girl. I'm sure she's a nice person, but maybe an in-ring career isn't for her, as she probably has a bright future as a manager. She can cut a decent promo.
Yes.
She could be a backstage interviewer. She's got options in the wrestling business, but I don't think in the ring is the best place for her.
I was just thinking. So you said manager, and whenever I think of manager, I think of a monster like a Haas that needs a manager. Like those are usually the way they go with that. It's just big guy manager. And then I think on the women's team, I'm like, who's the monster heel woman? And then I thought of Nia Jax, and I realized that I haven't seen Nia Jax in months.
Yeah, she fucked up her knee something fierce.
I wonder how that happened.
I think she tore both her ACLs.
Yikes. That sucks.
Yeah. So she's
For
been on the
sure.
shelf for probably before WrestleMania or shortly thereafter. So we're talking 6 months, 5 months, 6 months. So typically that's a 9-month recovery. So she could still be another 3 to 5 months before she's back.
That's nuts. Yeah, it's a sucky injury to take. But it's only occurred to me now that I haven't seen her in a long time, and I'm like,
yeah, a lot of injuries on that women's division recently.
Yes, it's super important. I don't know if this is a gender thing. My only experience with this was like in high school, and the differences between like the men and women's soccer teams. So that the women, well, for one, our women's team was just better than our guys' team. So that's a whole thing. But they had to do a lot of conditioning, a lot more than the guys did when they started out. And I like the story of every season was like a bunch of the women's team would get injured. They would break stuff.
That seems counterintuitive to me almost, because women are naturally more flexible than men. So you'd think that would help them prevent injury. But, maybe this is just an isolated incident.
This is a sample size of 2.
Yes, we are not by any means making declarative statements about sports durability as a function of gender. But
yeah, it just makes you wonder. Well, maybe we'll keep an eye on it. But
track
the
spreadsheet.
Yeah, who else is out here?
Dakota Kai is out.
Right.
Deanna, or not, Tegan Knox. 2 years in a row.
Yeah, can't forget that one.
Rhea Ripley or Toni Storm was out for a little bit with an injury. Sasha Banks wasn't injured. She just quit for a little bit.
That was a whole storyline during Clash of Champions. She's like, they're like making fun of her for like going to find herself or whatever.
Yeah.
Which now that I hear that she just decided she needed to take some time off, I like the conspiracy theorist to me says, is this like a Vince shaming maneuver that they run the promo against her for taking a vacation?
Maybe. Well, it depends on who you believe in that whole mess. But yeah, like there's been a few injuries. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but like a few key people in that Raw women's division are. Ruby Riot's hurt.
Oh, yep.
I think that might be the 2 people, but like when the division is like 8 women deep, 2 people out is a significant percentage. Speaking of significance, Denzel Dejournay was not significant. He came out for his scheduled match against Kushida, but then Imperium appeared.
And I popped.
Is you and the entire crowd. Fabian Eichner, who has the best fucking crazy eyes in the world, just popping them out of his head. Marcel Bartel and Alexander Wolf back in NXT. I'm sure he was happy to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the shit out of this guy, and then they all They all stood in position as classical music played, and classical music got a bigger response than it's ever gotten since like the 1800s, when it was just called music.
Yep. Pop for those violins and whatnot.
Yeah.
Walter
came out and he cut a promo saying that anyone who disrespects the mat will have to answer to the ring general. And Kushida came out being like, what the fuck, dude? This is my time. And he had a run-in with the Imperium, and he sneaked his way out and appeared to challenge Walter to a match.
We're getting a Walter versus Kishida match.
This is a match I'm excited for, but it also presents a little bit of a booking black hole. Kushida has been protected and on an undefeated streak. Walter, also protected, undefeated streak, happens to be WWE United Kingdom champion. You can weasel your way out of this match with a DQ due to interference from the rest of Imperium. However, given the finish of the main event in this evening's program, I do not want to establish a trend of shenanigans in NXT matches. And typically they're pretty good about giving finishes. But I don't know who you put over here. My gut would tell me if something has to give, Walter goes over.
He should. And like the Kushida's undefeated streak doesn't hold as much weight. They haven't made mention of it. It's not like a feature of his reign so far, at least not in my eyes. They can just sort of let it go and have his, this sort of could mark an end for a little shift in his, because I still imagine him on the he's the push for like the new member push. I think this would be a natural end to that. And I agree, like you need to build up Imperium, especially if I hear people more talking about it. I really want it to happen. Fucking Imperium on UE War Games.
I don't know how you get to that point, but it sure would be something to see.
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't know how much Imperium's going to be around. I know Walter specifically didn't come to WWE for many years because he did not want to move to the United States. He likes living in Germany. He's got a nice place there, I guess. He knows the locals.
Fair.
His favorite
entirely fair.
His favorite bread's there. I don't know what he likes living in Germany. So NXT UK is a commuter flight away for him, and he can do that just fine. And he has no problem coming in to work a date or two in the US. So you can have Imperium as a fixture on the show because I don't think the other people have that objection. But Walter will be sort of in a Brock Lesnar sort of limbo.
Is for this case, it's fine with Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't know. I'm not swayed by his promo and his aesthetic. But Walter is very much the kind of guy who could be like, yeah, no, Walter doesn't need to appear in person for most of this. He's literally like the commander. And that also kind of feeds into why we shouldn't have Imperium do an interference DQ. Like, they are the 4-man heel roster who always comes out together, but like UE already is the conniving, like, we're gonna weasel.
Yeah, they're the weaselly chicken shit sort of heels.
Imperium's the guy who's gonna like keep other interferences out of the ring and then beat everyone up after.
Yeah, they're more of the like we're gonna beat people up. Not
gonna beat up John Cena.
Yes, they're the beat up John Cena type. Yeah, and also, it kind of makes Walter look a little weak. It depends on how you book it, but if they're gonna interfere, you would think that it would mean Kushida is winning. So I don't know how to work that. Like, it's going to be a great match. I'm excited for the match, but I don't know that I would have rushed into booking this. I don't know if Kushida would have been my first choice for Walter's first opponent on NXT. I think he could have gone with someone a little more beatable, or hell, Johnny Gargano would have been a great choice.
Yeah.
He can lose and not have it hurt him as much because he's lost before.
Nope, that's very true. He can take a big loss or two, right, Johnny?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, hey, well, I in NXT I trust.
I want Can we have Johnny Gargano come out and fucking in a goddamn Ash Ketchum Kanto hat? Because that's where he is right now for me. I'm like, he's the Ash Ketchum of NXT.
Well, no, he already won the big one once.
Well, Ash Ketchum also won this season.
But more recently, Gargano's win is of a finer vintage.
Yeah. Damn, I still can't believe that. It's a weird world where he's the champion, or he's the tournament winner. Because, like, the champion's like a fucking job in the anime. So I heard people commenting. They're like, "Wait, so is he just got to stay in Alola now? Like he's got duties, responsibilities?" And then someone cleared up the deeper lore of Pokemon anime in that you can challenge the champion if you win the tournament. But that's sort of, it's a job. It's a big thing. They're overseeing of all things Pokemon for a whole country.
Yeah.
It's like the Secretary of Agriculture.
Steering this back to wrestling.
If you beat the Secretary of Agriculture in a rose growing competition, you get to run the ag country for the whole business. Okay. Now I'm done. I took it one step too far, and now we have to step back into wrestling mode.
Aliyah Rush defeated Oni Lorcan to become number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. Triple H in recent weeks has all but said that 205 Live will be folding into NXT, which I think is a wise move for all involved. It does them no service to have Cruiserweight Championship matches on the kickoff show of a half-empty pay-per-view building. They belong on a TakeOver. They should be on TakeOver.
And now you can have fucking 3 belts. You can put the Cruiserweight as its own thing.
Yes, I believe that's one of the plans. Either, I think that's what they're going to end up doing. Either the Cruiserweight, well, I guess either the Cruiserweight belt will be dissolved and 205 Live guys will just be NXT guys, or Cruiserweight belt will be something that can be competed for on NXT. And much of the NXT talent pool would be eligible for the Cruiserweight title because smaller guys, for the most part, in NXT.
I would prefer that because, like, I don't have anything against Cruiserweights. It's just, that's the 205 Live syndrome. Was like, everyone's like, yeah, sure, I can watch it. I just don't want to.
Well, yeah, I mean, putting it back under the auspices of Triple H, who was the architect of the Cruiserweight Classic, which was a fantastic tournament, is the best thing for everyone involved. And they got 2 hours of television to fill every week now. Hot Cruiserweight match here and there. Probably pretty good thing to have on your television program, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you can get all the sweet the Cruiserweight roster on there.
Yeah, and they can mix it up with other people. On TV. You can get Gulak wrestling for the North American title. Or Lorcan in this match looked really believable as a single star. I thought this was a really good match. I really enjoyed this. Aliyah Rush for all his attitude issues and negative headlines associated with him prior to his sabbatical. He can work. Guy can work.
He's a loose cannon, but he gets the job done.
He's very smooth in the ring, very athletic, very fast. Teeny tiny, but that's
fine.
Not a death sentence in today's WWE. And he got the win with a frog splash. I really would have preferred Oni Lorcan to get the win here. I thought he wrestled better, but I think Aliyah Rush is maybe a better opponent for Drew Gulak at this point in time.
Yeah.
And then we had
For
the
sure.
street fight between Matthew Riddle and Killian Dane in a match that ended in a no contest, which was not a finish I thought could happen in a street fight.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, that's very true. But they fucking they took it to another level. It's all coming back now. I'm like, yeah, their match got like busted up. Like there was interference and there's stuff going on. And then I actually remember the match in full, and I'm like, oh yeah, they had the whole roster fighting.
Yeah, they hit some moves. They brawled back, and Imperium is just like at a
Sipping
table,
tea.
fucking playing cards or some shit. And they didn't like the way that they brawled near them. So Walter attacked Matt Riddle. And then Chaos just consumed everything. The whole backstage got in on the brawl. And then they brawled to the ring. And, everyone's chanting, "Let them fight." The referees are trying to restore order. They're getting brawled upon. There was like a hot minute where it looked like they were going to get back in the ring. And we might even get a finish at a Killian Dane-Matt Riddle match. I know, a concept that it's just so foreign.
Baffled.
I think the only finish they've had to a match was the one where Killian Dane won after the 3 Vader bombs.
Yeah. But no, they end in the middle of the melee. They just sort of, it's like they cut to time. It's like the stream cut to time.
Yeah, they threw
but
the
they're
match
on
out.
the network.
Yeah, they threw the match out, and they ended like 6 minutes before the top of the hour. So,
come on.
Yeah, they threw the match out, and they're gonna try it again this week. It's gonna be Matt Riddle and Killian Dane in a street fight for #1 contendership. There was another match they announced. I think Dakota Kai is returning this week.
Okay.
And I'm missing a match. I think they announced ahead of time. But anyway,
something. I'm a little put off that they didn't put another stip on this. Usually, that's the NXT way is fucking shit goes sideways on a match. And then, even with a stip or however, and then Daddy Regal comes in and says, "All right, we got to fucking up this because you guys are all crazy. Now we got to do a street fight in a steel cage or some shit. Or
in a cage, yeah.
Do a fucking lumberjack match, for God's sake. That would be sweet.
Yeah, actually, that would have been a good lead-in from the brawl. Gets everyone involved. Yeah.
When was the last time we had a lumberjack match in all of WWE?
Last one I remember was the Great Khali versus Kane at it was like in 2007 or 2008.
Damn. I feel like we've had one since then, but like.
Oh wait, wasn't there a lumberjack match with tag teams recently?
Let's look up WWE lumberjack matches.
All right, let's go down this rabbit hole.
Randy Orton, CM Punk
from 2013.
Yep.
I guess
R-Truth versus Elias.
Was it a lumberjack match?
Well, they did it on a show recently, but I guess I didn't want it to be the fucking 24/7 match.
Yeah, I don't even know how you do a lumberjack match with the 24/7 title. Everyone would just try to pin the dude.
Right. See now, alternatively, they should have fucking run in the 24/7 belt into the brawl at Full Sail. Should have just been in there and then like randomly divert. Like Walter's like, oh, 24/7 belt.
Walter would never lower himself to the 24/7 title.
But could you imagine though? That'd be a fun couple weeks. Would be Walter. He has the belt.
How do you get the belt?
But like every time someone tries to approach him, fucking all of Imperium just like bodyguards them out of the way.
Yeah, but you have to get the belt off of him at some point. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I guess they fucking. But yeah, lumberjack matches few and far between. Put one on NXT, guys.
They're typically not great, but hey, if anyone can make it happen, NXT can make it happen. All right, so that's gonna wrap up the show for this week. We will be back Thursday, or
2 days,
or maybe Thursday. maybe we'll just wait till Friday.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because Thursday is my birthday. I'm going to be out having a dinner and all that.
Another giant tomahawk steak.
Maybe not. Well, I'm going to the Longhorn, so I will not be paying for dinner. So
Fair
maybe
enough.
tomahawk steak back in order. But yeah, so that's gonna maybe delay things, but we will be either in studio together Friday, which will wreak havoc on the overlay, which will we might just have to get rid of the overlay for one day, or I'll figure something out. Yeah. So sometime either Thursday or Friday, we will bring you our recap of the most recent NXT episode. We'll discuss the ratings, see if they went up, see if they went down, and maybe talk a little bit more about AEW, as that will be heading in just 2 weeks, man. Big week in 2 weeks. We have AEW making its debut. We have SmackDown moving to Fox. So exciting times to be a wrestling fan right now. And hopefully it lives up to the hype. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and grapple like it's 1995.
Peace.